Why do people think Japan is so expensive? Well, this reputation of Japan as one of the most expensive destinations in the world comes from the bubble economy of the late 80s. You see, at that time, Japan really had some exorbitant prices. And rumors like beers costing more than $500 in some bars in Tokyo, or hotel rooms smaller than shoeboxes being more expensive than the Ritz-Carlton in Paris, really fueled the fire of this rumor. We're talking about a time when the Imperial Palace in Tokyo was worth as much as the entire US state of California, and a night out could cost you a small fortune. But that bubble, it burst. And what we're left with after 30 years of deflation is a country where a Big Mac is cheaper than in South Korea, Thailand, or even Vietnam. In fact, you can get a Big Mac for 45% less than in the US, with only $2.83. So to show you just how cheap Japan has become, I want to take some data to tell you the real story. For instance, according to the hotel booking site Trivago, a night at a hotel near Vancouver International Airport costs about $230, while a similar hotel in Tokyo near Haneda Airport costs around $172, also offering remarkable amenities like a rooftop spa with views of Mount Fuji on a non-cloudy day. Restaurants is another area where Japan really shines through in its cheapness. A 3-course meal for two in a mid-range restaurant in Tokyo, according to Nubeo's cost of living index, is only around $35 compared to New York's astonishing average of $120, or even Paris' relatively modest $65 average, showcasing just how cheap Japan has become. And when you realize that this is in Tokyo, the most expensive city in Japan, you can just imagine what kind of insane deals you can get if you travel around the country. The narrative of cheap Japan grows even more compelling if we look upon the broader picture of Japan's overall cost of living. For example, living solo in Japan costs around $1,064 per month, which is insanely low compared to the US, where the average is $2,434 per month. And if you have a family, your monthly expenses, excluding rent, will be about $2,783 in Japan compared to the heftier $5,606 in the States. Rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in a Japanese city center averages on $481, a bargain next to the $1,567 you have to fork up over in the US. Food costs are also more manageable in Japan, with an average spend of $360 monthly, significantly lower than the US's average of $606. Overall, the average cost of living in Japan is 56% less expensive than in the United States. So the takeaway here is that Japan is not the budget buster it's often made out to be, especially when you factor in the quality of life and services you get for your money. And this brings me to my next point. It's not just about the low prices here, it's about the value provided. Japan is renowned for its exceptional service standards, which are consistent regardless of the price point. From budget accommodations to gourmet restaurants, the quality of service in Japan often surpasses that of luxury establishments in other countries. And despite offering the best service standard in the world, there is no tipping culture in Japan. That means that if you order a fancy 3-course meal for around $40, it will not cost you a cent more than the stated price. And lastly,
one more thing.
Just because it's still January and I love skiing, I've included this activity into the mix to showcase the country's value proposition. Because when it comes to skiing, Japan is certainly offering a compelling value proposition compared to most other ski destinations. For instance, a day pass for skiing in Japan ranges between 3,500 to 5,000 yen, which is approximately $27 to $38. This is very affordable when you look at European destinations like Chamonix, Mont Blanc in France, or St. Anton in Austria, where you're looking at around 73 to 82 US dollars respectively for a one-day ski pass. Swiss resorts like Zermatt even go up to $110 for a day on the slopes. And in North America, it's even worse. Some of the most prestigious resorts in the US, like Vail Mountain Resort in Colorado, can charge up to $209 for a day pass. Here in Japan, on the other hand, even the most expensive ski resort, Niseko, costs around $66 for a day pass, which is more affordable than most of the mid-tier ski resorts in the West. So in summary, I hope I've caught your attention that Japan is no longer the expensive country you thought it was, but actually one of the cheapest developed countries in the world. And especially when considering the exquisite landscapes and the amazing service. So, whether you're staying in a hotel, dining out, or enjoying winter sports like skiing, or even considering living here, Japan offers an incredible value for money. So I really hope you're ready to book your trip to Japan now, because this is really an amazing country to be in. And thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe the video if you haven't already. It really helps me become more motivated to make more videos like this, and also it makes you a more informed person about Japan. But until then, I just want to say thank you so much and sayonara.